How's it going, everybody? Jared the Wendigo back. And finally, let's go back a little bit. Finally, patch 6.11 notes are out. I'm just gonna look over them real quick. I just briefly looked at Anivia, Let's just jump right into it. So right away they're saying, basically this whole mismatch, and sorry for the burp in there, this whole mix mash, just says we're coming out with the balance closet, which means that we're past the halfway point, meaning that it's time to start tuning it so that LCS players don't play all the brokens and then mop all the players that play actual champions. So right off the bat, Anivia, R cast per second up. So they pretty much took a champion that nobody plays, and now she's even more unplayed. Alright, great. Azir, you can no longer arise turrets. So that's huge because the amount of damage you could do with Azir on a turret was absurd when you got enough AP. And the R duration down, so okay, the wall doesn't stay up for so long, which is okay. No longer grants speed to allies, so you don't get like 20% speed when you're walking through it, which it's good because you can use that shit to get away and it was just broken. Corki, his R ratio is up, so he may be a played champion now. His ratio at max goes to 1, it looks like. Well, that's not too bad then. That's not bad at all, actually. Echo, so he better get some nerfs because he's cancer. Passive cooldown per target up. Oh, it's up to 5 seconds. So now when you get that 3 little hits on you, it's got a timer on it, which is 5 now instead of 3. The AP ratio is increased, that's fun. Return damage is decreased slightly, but that's going to be outweighed by the ability power scaling. The stun duration is less, which is by a whole like half second too. That's actually pretty good. Chrono breaks damage dropped by 50, but the ratio increased, so once again just balancing it out. Oh boys, it's the kid Illaoi. Q increases all tentacle damage rather than tentacle ratio. So this was something I really needed to test out before I really understood it, but we're gonna take a look at it. So the new is come on and slam. Illaoi's tooltips have been updated. Those are useless to me. So removes thrashing. No longer increases tentacle damage by 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 bonus attack damage as the levels increase. Now it increases all tentacle damage by a flat percentage amount. So it goes from 10%, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work yet. I guess instead of it being a ratio towards your attack damage, it's the percentage of your attack damage in total, apart from what you just have normally. Harsh lesson is, instead of doing just a flat damage plus your attack damage, it does your total attack damage apart from 1.1, so it's 1-to-1 scaling, but now it does percentage of the target's maximum health. And here's the kicker right here. So per 100 attack damage you get an extra 2%. So the build I like to rock usually gets me about 211 extra damage. That's an extra 4% max health. At level 5, that's 5%, so 9% maximum health. 2-second cooldown on the ultimate. 9% of their max health every 2 seconds? Yeah, we're nerfing her, boys. Alright, so test of spirit. The slow duration is from 2 seconds to 1.5. Kind of shitty for us, but it's alright. The slow no longer decays over the duration. Okay, that's not too bad then. Well, and that looks like it's everything. So, big changes for Illaoi. I mean, I think this harsh lesson was just buffed. Q is probably going to end up being a nerf, just because the ratio is going to be different, especially because 0.4 and 30%, there's a difference between the two. We'll have to really just look at the numbers and look at my older videos of Illaoi. Look at the numbers there and see if the attack damage, like line up one that's got 250 and attack damage, the other one's got like 250. Just look at the Q and see what's really changed on it. Harsh lesson is going to be completely broken. We're going to really see how good it is. I'm going to try and do a couple videos in the near future. Alright, let's keep going down. We got Jax. The R's stacks drop off one at a time. So we just took a broken champion, made me more broken. So let's just listen to what they did, okay? So his passive, Relentless Assault, where you attack 6 times, they stack up. So instead of them falling off all at once after 3 or 4 seconds, they fall off one at a time. So you could literally, I don't know how long it is. It better be down to like 1 second a stack now, because if it's still 3 a stack, oh god, it's gonna take at least 20 something seconds to get all 6 stacks down. Like, what the shit is that? Passive cooldown increased, so he can't mark people, or he can mark people, sorry, faster than normal. This just changes the mark chances. Wolf now marks jungle monsters based on Kindred's current stack, so that's really important. You gotta note this when playing Kindred. Rift Scuttlers or Razorbeaks will always be 0-2. 3 to 4s will be Krugs and Razorbeaks, Gromps, and or Merkwolves. 5 to 7 is the Blue Sentinel, so blue buff. Red buff. The Herald, remember this is the Herald, the Rift Herald, so the one before 20 minutes, and any of the Elemental Drakes. And then that 7 or more marks will always be the Gnasher and or Elder Dragon. So it looks like getting around 7 is pretty much your max when you're playing Kindred now, apart from killing people. And her Q, the damage was brought down a little bit, but the bounties increased stance of arrows damage by 5 per stack. So these are, I think, bounties, they mean Mark of the Kindred, so they increase by 5 per stack to the damage. So say you're at 135, you got 5 stacks, you had 25 damage, you're up to 160. So still not as OP as before, but it'll be okay. Alright, Mounting Dread, slow as 70%, was 70% at all ranks, now it's 50%, that's a good nerf. Damage early on is lower, but at the end it's, at level 5 it's the same. Oh my god, Lucian, please get nerfed, dude. Okay, Q and W range down. Thank god. W is, like, I don't really give a shit about that shit. But Q, thank god the range down. By a good bit, too. 200 is a good bit. The Q AD scaling ratio is down a lot. So, it's the same at first, except you lose 0.5 there here, you lose 0.1 there. You lose 0.1.5, and you lose 2 at the final level. So that's huge. You gotta know this now. Lucian is just completely broken, so now it's not too bad. So the second shot no longer procs Runon's Hurricanes and or Guinzu's Rage Blades, since it's not a basic attack. So that's good that they did that. I never really noticed it, but I'm sure it would have been broken. Oh my god, once again, so they're taking a champion that nobody really plays enough for him to be nerfed, and they're taking him nerfed. So his health regen is down from 8 point big number to 7. And his regen growth from 0.85 to 0.75, so just not fun. And it says Q cooldown, okay, yeah, it's right here. So his cooldown is up at early ranks apart from 6. It's 6 in the end, but at the beginning it's 8. Because, champions no one plays, that's nerfing. Prowl activation range against champions reduced. Pounce cooldown resets reduced. Oh my god, what are they doing with this champion? So, oh wow. Movement speed bonus increased when moving towards visible enemies, changed from 5,500 range to 1,400. So you literally have to be licking their nuts to get them with the movement speed now. And the pounce reset on hunted targets and on kill 70% of the cooldown. At lower levels it's 40%, 50%, 60%, and 70%. Just try and balance it out because it's crazy at first. So that's actually good. Alright, Rise, once again, champion that no one really plays, but is very strong. Don't doubt it, Rise is broken. Took all those damage down at the final level, it's down 20, not too big a deal. His ult is level 50, or is 50 seconds at all ranks. That's a little bit of a weird one, because, I mean, yeah, he was able to use it pretty much every 10 seconds, but, I mean, that's Rise. Oh, pardon me. Thank God, I already read what Swain was doing while I was looking at Rise. Q damage down and R healing down. So for those of you that played against a good old Swain in patch 6.10, you'd notice that it doesn't matter what lane the bastard went. When he clicked the ult, the Ravenous Flocks were kicking the shit out of you and healing him. Way too much. So, you know, it's good that they did this. Alright, so base heal against champions is, oh, it's brutal for him. So, it was 30 at first, now it's 20, then it goes to 45, and now it's 30, and then it goes all the way up to 60, and now it's down to 40. So you'll have less at level 3 than you would have at level 2. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. Decrypify is a little bit less damage. I mean, it wasn't, I mean, like, Beatrice never did damage all that much anyway, but... Oh, Talia, look at that. Okay, it looks like they're this is one of the first champs I've probably seen, oh, it's a hotfix, that they actually buffed. So, Talia just come out a couple weeks ago. Her health was increased because she had no health, apparently 500 to 5, oh yeah, that is no health, that's almost as bad as Anivia. 500 to 520. Deals extra damage to minions, it looks like the Q does. The work round duration is also from 180 seconds to 140. That way you don't shoot that one shot every once in a while. It's just useless as hell. And the cost is put down on her Q. So they're pretty much just trying to make the Q her main source of damage in laning. Now deals 50% extra damage to minions. Champion they just reworked, Vel'Koz. Let's see what we got here as the little quicks. Q slow up, it slows more. The R damage partially shifted back into organic deconstruction stacking. I don't know what the hell that is, but we'll find out. So the slow duration lasts 1 to 1.25, 1.5, 1.75 up to 2 seconds. Level 5. Now at level 1 it's the same. Level 2 it's a bit more, 3 a bit more, 4 a bit more, and at level 5 it's a whole 0.6 seconds more. It's not that much, but when you're playing someone like there's Zed right there, he pops a U-moves, he gets a little bit closer to pop his broken ass ultimate. So let's look at the life form disintegration. Base damage is reduced, that's pretty fair because he was able to shred some pretty high health tanks. Alright, so enemies that stay in the beam accumulate 1 stack of organic deconstruction every 0.7 seconds, up to a maximum of 3 stacks obviously. As a reminder, enemies that become researched during life form disintegration take true damage for the remainder of its duration. So it looks like before, I remember they took out the fact that you would accumulate stacks once inside of this, because when you first came back out with his true damage, I believe you couldn't stack people with the R, so you had to hit your other stacks to get them constructed or deconstructed. Now it looks like you can deconstruct just with the ultimate, so that's just gonna be like fucking completely broken. Zed, please get a nerf. It's looking promising. Okay. Oh god, I'm jittery. Oh. Okay, Q damage and ratio down. Thank God, because shurikens are about broken. Look at level 5, man, 235. Name me a champion that's Q still does over 200 damage in this game, okay? And it's still over 200 damage. Down to 2.10, but the bonus attack damage ratio is a little lower. It reduced the damage on multiple targets. No, they increased it, actually. It looks, let's see, but half that has less fall off on multi-hits. Yeah, so they're trying to make him more of like a team fight champion, I guess. So it's really important to land multiple Qs now, instead of just throwing them in whichever direction and hoping you hit somebody. So that went up 25%. Alright, Ari got another buff, prettiness and sass. Tail whip, Ari's tail now moves realistically on her base and all skins. I could give a shit about that. Star Surge visually disperses when destroyed by Wind Wall or Unbreakable. When destroyed by Yasuo's Wind Wall or Braum's Unbreakable, Star Surge's central core now visually disperses rather than instantly vanishing. That's a little fun little thing they added. And Star Surge now properly stuns Braum when blocked by the E. So it does stun him now when he has the Unbreakable up, okay? Let's look at these new splashed skins. These are for Nidalee. 5 of her older skins is what it looks like. So we got Bewitching Nidalee, looking pretty good. We got French Maid Nidalee, still looking terrifying. Is that a cat? He's like, hey man, give me those booze, man. And let's go and see. Wow, Leopard Nidalee. That's not looking too bad. That's the one I have, I think. We got Pharaoh Nidalee. That's looking pretty nice. Actually, I really enjoy that one. Hopefully, she actually looks that good in game. Probably not though. Snow Bunny Nidalee. Not really. I mean, she has a cat made of snow, so what else is to be said? Alright, now we're getting on to the items. So these are the Boots of Swiftness, movement speed down from 60 to 55. Zerker Greaves get a bit of an attack speed buff by 5%, that's all good. Here's something important for those top laners like us. Ninja Tabby, passive reduction up. So just buying the Ninja Tabby boots made base attack damage 10% less on you. Now it's up to 12%. It's a little thing that's important when you're playing against some of those base attack top laners. Alright, this is build paths now. So Trinity Force no longer has critical strike chance. This is important for people that play like Corki and shit and what's his name there, Ezreal bot lane. So you no longer get your 20% crit chance from Trinity Force. The total cost went down by like 70 gold, no big deal. Attack speed's up to 40%. The cooldown reduction's up by 20%. And it builds with a Sheen, a Phage, and a Stinger. So they just changed the Zeal to a Stinger, which is why there's no crit and all that shit. And alright, Stinger, the attack. This was big. I actually saw this somewhere else, but the cost and attack speed are down. So the cost is only down 100, but you lose 15% attack speed. But I mean, to be completely honest, 50% attack speed with Stinger was a little broken. And obviously with the change of that, Gnasher's Tooth equally got changed. The combined cost actually went up by 1,000 gold, but the total cost is unchanged. Okay, let's continue. Got that Dervish Blade, the item that nobody ever buys. I think it's on like ARAM or something. So I don't really give a shit about that. Wits End cost is down. So the build path is now a recurve bow, a Negatron cloak, and a dagger, and about 480 gold. It's down about 300 gold, so it might be an item that comes back now. Now that it's a little bit cheaper. It's about as much as a static shiv now. Alright, so with the dynamic Q. So rolling out later the patch for real this time, so last time they didn't do this. Several adjustments and improvements targeting higher MMR matchmaking and dynamic Q. So you remember when you're just playing around, you're with your bronze ass friends, and then all of a sudden a random diamond 2 rolls in, and you're like, holy shit, wow, you're so good, dude, and you look him up and he's diamond 2, and you're like, oh my god, why am I playing with a diamond 2? Yeah, well that was dynamic Q. And then there's those guys that are like gold 3, let's say, so you don't play with many bronzes like ever when you play ranked and stuff. So you're just playing along, you're having fun with your friends, and all of a sudden you get with a group of 3 bronze 4s. Okay, and they feed out the ass. They call you shit even though you're gold 3. So that's dynamic Q for you. So they're changing that a little bit, is what it looks like. Okay, your shop. Last seen during Lunar Reveal, or Revel, whatever the fuck they want to say it. Your shop will be making a return partway through this patch. Look forward to 6 fresh skins and champ discounts unique to you. So it's kind of like the new Lunar Reveal where you got the flip 6 cards. I guess with the new shop, they're going to be like, oh, 6 new unique champion skins and or champions if you don't own them all will be on sale for you like the Lunar Reveal. So save up your RP, ask your mom for lunch money and shit. Keep it because nobody buys lunch at her school. It tastes like shit. And then buy your RP. Alright, we got some bug fixes. I'm just going to let you guys pause the video and holy Christ, if I could, there you go. Just pause the video, I'll read through it if you really want to read through it. I could give a shit about it, so we'll just go. Upcoming skins! So, the upcoming skins are adding to the El Tigre Baram set. So we got El Leonar, he's like that little, so I guess he's a lion. We got El Macho Mundo. I can't remember who did a video, I think it was Bro Fresco, but he showcased the different cleavers Macho Mundo has. He recycles between 4 different cleavers. I think one of them is like I don't know. I don't remember, honestly. I know that Nar, when he's in big form, throws stairs, I think. Like the stairs on the side of the stage. And lastly, but leastly, I guess you should say. I don't even know how that saying goes. El Rayo Volibear. I guess Rayo probably because Rayon, I don't know, he's got lightning and shit, so he's probably Rayo. So that's pretty much patch point 11. I'm super psyched for this right here, this Illaoi buff. It could be a buff, it could be a nerf. I'm going to do a good video on it in the near future. I'll probably do it in the next couple days when I get some time. I think it's going to be a big game changer in the top laner for those who play Illaoi. Just because that percentage, or that max health percent damage is going to be huge. When you're playing against like Garen and shit, and his regen is like 600 a second, and you're doing 9% of his max health per W, and when you ult, it's on a 2-second cooldown? Oh my god, that's going to be fucking amazing. And Jax is going to make a comeback. Right now, get your Jax out, get your Temple Jax, whatever Jax, get the Mighty Jax. For those of you who have the Mighty Jax, that I think it was the 2012 Winter Games, or maybe 2014 Winter Games, something like that. I don't remember when they were. Mighty Jax came out. So get your Mighty Jax, bring them out in the Rift, hop in the jungle, maybe hop in that top lane. Your passive's completely busted now. It takes a lot less time for it to come down, and shit like that. Anyway, if you guys like this video, leave a like. Comment if you want me to do more of these patch notes, or maybe elaborate on one thing that I didn't really say too much about, or possibly subscribe if you guys want to see more of stuff like this. Anyway, if it's the beginning of your day, have a great day, and if it's the end of your day, then I hope you had a great day, and goodbye.